Day 2. It is the start. Now that I'm recording though in the daytime, like it's not later at night, this means I need to mess around with this to try to get this correct because, I guess screen left. Okay. Well, anyway, I need to try to get this correct so that way it doesn't look like this back area here. Well, I don't know how I'll be able to see it when I edit it, but the back area here when I'm looking through the camera looks super wide. So I need to mess around with some settings and then get into the recording so I can finish the recording and then start the edits tonight. So what I found out, I need the light here, and this is for when still talking about daylight. And I had to swap the lens. You see, this is a much larger lens. This is a 50mm lens, and this other one, let me see, 15 to 45 when it's fully zoomed in. So this basically means that there's a much smaller frame, which it's going to be for video, still part of the same course, but part of the course is then going to be recorded with the larger frame, which is more. So here we're talking about the mindset. So first of all, jewelry, it is a big decision. Jewelry being a big... Since I see you looking at diamonds, by the way, do you know where the word diamond actually came from? More of me, like more of this. And then a smaller frame is like going to be from the shoulders, so there's less options with editing to be able to cut and zoom in and back and forth like that, which I don't think should be a problem. This lens also allows me to have like a slightly blurry background, which is good because this part here looks like it makes it look like it's going to be a lower quality recording. If all of this just looks white, and it means it's recorded bad, basically. That's in my opinion, at least. But there you go. So now you know how and why the other parts of videos are going to look different. Does it really matter in the long term? No, because really all that matters is the content, like the content and the delivery of it. But for, I feel, the experience of the viewer, you need to still be able to have like a good visual experience. If it looks really messy, if it looks like pixelated and everything, then it's like so much, it's clearly lower quality. So this is where sometimes having the tools can then make the difference. Whether this ends up making the biggest difference or not, difficult to say. But with what I'm trying to do, quality does become big. Now, I don't think it would matter as much if, let's say, for example, it was not something to do with sales training and luxury. It was something to do with just like, I'm traveling somewhere, etc., and just sharing kind of the parts of it along the way. That's my opinion though. But anyway, into the videos now. Time for me to start recording. Right, so I got through it. Ended up filming everything, and after the filming of everything, now I've moved it all onto my laptop. So it's all, kind of see it there, it's all right there. So those are all of the videos, and then when it comes into like making sure it's all in order, one of the things, because of how they place everything in order, I always like to put like a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, then the name of what that section then is. So then this way it's easier for me when it comes into the editing process. And really this time as well, I want to keep it quite smooth without like the bells and whistles that you see, sound effects and things flying in from here, and here. So I want it to be smooth and just be more emphasized on, what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. So like that's kind of like my outcome. And I think this is good to have, especially when you're starting a project like this, when it comes into the editing of it, because now technically I have 24 videos that I need to then get through. Now, with that in mind, before even starting the edits, it's good for me to know where am I wanting to be able to place this though too. Because my goal is to then reach out to other people that are then selling jewelry stores as well in the local area of where I'm at the moment, to be able to offer this program to them, or bring like awareness to this program, and hopefully sell some of it though too. So with that in mind, there's like different ways of me then also getting it out there. Like I can get it out there via a course provider, like a course hosting platform. And now a course hosting platform that I've already used is Udemy before. I've used that in the past. That's one which helps because they also spread it out to so many different people without you paying for that. So it's like they're marketing it for you, but that's also why they take quite a large percentage of each sale when that then does happen. The other way that I was thinking about it too is by going through Patreon. Now Patreon is something where it's like a monthly fee, and then I can decide what to give access to for everyone. So then that could also at the same point keep me accountable to upgrading that course over time. But that also gives me multiple different tiers and levels for people to be able to get into it. But now the thing of that in mind, when it comes into taking that to another company, if they're not going directly to like a website, some people deem that to be like unprofessional in that way. So that's something that I'm going to have to cross over though as well, is like, do I want to do that and put it up on my own website, or do I want to go through one of these providers? Now, I know that I am also going to place this out on Udemy, and I do want to put it up on Skillshare though as well. These are two big but very similar platforms. The reason being is because even if I'm taking this out here, there, and then I'm selling it to people, that there's more than 7 billion people on the planet. Like, you know, even if they see it up there, even if they see it up there, me direct to them, I'm going to add more value than what just the course is by itself on the internet. I want to be able to add more to that. So that's another consideration with it though also. But then when it comes into Udemy, like to give you an idea with this, like maybe you'll be able to see a little bit of it from here. Let's see if you can see some of this while I explain. So you have, like here at the moment, I'm trying to work on part of a landing page though too. This is going to be like the course description, what people basically see when the course pops up. So that's what I'm working on here. Then this is the part with Patreon though as well. I already have some videos up on here, but this page I haven't made live yet. I haven't launched the page yet because I want it to be a lot more. I want it to be a significantly larger amount of content on there. And this is where I'm also considering uploading directly a range of my YouTube videos that I already have scheduled, because I have videos at the moment scheduled on this channel all the way up to January 3rd of January, no, 10th of January. 10th of January, I have videos already scheduled to be uploaded though as well. So I'm thinking I could also put those videos into here to give people that are paying for it like an earlier upon sneak peek of what to then be able to see. So that's the kind of things going through my mind though as well at the moment. And now I'm going through editing these videos later on into the evening. This is basically the end of day number 2. So day number 3, I'll also touch on how the editing goes, let you know how I've gotten through the videos up until tomorrow, which will then be day 3. So make sure again to watch day 3. Watch day 3's video. It's going to be right up above me, probably at the moment. Yes, so it'll be up above me at the moment. And make sure to watch that so you can see the next step and how this all ends up going. Putting together a sales training course and recording it so you can see as well. Maybe you want to be able to launch a sales training course too. You can see my process behind it and eventually that end product, what it all ends up looking like. So day 3, click on it.